Okay, let's dive right in. The technical interview for a project manager role, it can feel pretty intimidating, right? It's not just about what you know, it's really about how you prove it when you're under pressure. So today, we're going to break down the exact formula to turn that interview into your next job offer.
I want you to think about it this way. An interview is basically your very first project with that company. Your goal? To manage it perfectly and deliver a successful outcome, which is, of course, you getting hired. It's a performance where you have to showcase your value, your process, and your leadership, and you have to do it all in under an hour.
So, how in the world do we do that? Well, we're going to walk through a simple 5-part framework. We'll start with the core formula for every single answer, then we'll apply it to your project stories, your personal playbook, your leadership style, and finally, how to land that unforgettable final pitch.
Let's start with the foundation, the absolute bedrock. There are 2 simple but honestly incredibly powerful principles that should be behind every single answer you give. If you can master these 2 things, you're already way ahead of the game.
The first principle is all about your narrative structure. You've probably heard of the STAR method, and for good reason. It's a fantastic framework for those behavioral questions like, tell me about a time when. It's just so effective because it forces you to tell a complete, compelling story with a clear beginning, a middle, and an end. Let's break this down real quick. You start with the situation. Just set the scene for them. Then, the task. What was your specific goal? Next is the action, and this is where you detail exactly what you did. This is your moment to shine. But honestly, the most crucial part is the result. This is where you prove that your actions had a real, tangible impact.
And that brings us perfectly to our second core principle, quantify everything. Look, saying you improved efficiency is fine, but saying you saved the company $315,000 per year, now that is unforgettable. Numbers just cut through all the noise and give concrete proof of your value.
Okay, so let's put this formula into practice. We're going to apply the STAR method and our quantify everything rule to the questions you are guaranteed to get. You know, the ones about your past projects, especially when things went a little sideways.
Here's a perfect example in action. The situation? A client wants a late feature during a supercritical migration. The task? Manage this scope creep without totally derailing the project. The action? You step up, you facilitate a meeting, you present a clear impact assessment, and you offer concrete options. And the result? The project stayed on schedule, and the client actually respected your transparent approach. See, you didn't just manage a task, you managed the entire relationship.
This is where quantification becomes your superpower. Instead of just saying, oh, I led an automation initiative, you say, I led an initiative that automated 98 business processes, which eliminated 9,000 hours of manual work and saved the company over $300,000 every single year. I mean, which story is more powerful? It's a no-brainer. And check this one out. A project that not only saved $1.4 million, but was finished in just 8 hours because of smart automation. When you can attach numbers like these to your actions, you're not just another project manager, you are a strategic business partner. So here's the key takeaway for this section. Every single story you tell has to end with tangible, measurable business value. Your past success is the best predictor of your future performance, so you have to make that success absolutely impossible for them to ignore. Okay, now that we've covered how to talk about your past, let's get into your process. Interviewers really want to know how you get things done. This is your chance to open up your project management playbook and show them what's inside. A key part of your playbook is methodology. And, it's not about being a die-hard Agile purist or a Waterfall fanatic. It's about being adaptable. You need to show that you understand the right tool for the job, like using Agile for projects where the scope might change, like cloud migrations, and Waterfall when the requirements are locked in, like for compliance work.
Next up, your toolkit. You will definitely be asked what software you use. You should be fluent in the industry standards you see right here. Jira for development tracking, MS Project for planning, Confluence for documentation. To be honest, these are often just considered table stakes for a technical PM role. But here is the pro move. Don't just list the tools. Explain the why behind your choice. For instance, you could say, I use Jira for sprint planning on our Agile project, but MS Project was way better for creating the complex Gantt charts we needed for a big proposal. This shows strategic thinking, not just that you know how to click buttons.
So beyond all the processes and tools, a project manager leads people. This next section is all about proving you've got the soft skills to handle the human side of any project. Your team, your stakeholders, and of course, all the inevitable risks. When you get asked about your leadership style, servant leadership is a fantastic model to reference. It basically frames your role not as a commander, but as a facilitator. Your job is to empower your team, clear roadblocks out of their way, and create an environment where they can do their absolute best work.
And this is how you turn those abstract leadership ideas into concrete actions. For example, to manage stakeholders, you can talk about using a RACI matrix. That's a chart defining who is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed to clarify roles during a massive, complex acquisition. To handle risk, you create detailed risk registers to ensure compliance. These are real, tangible examples of leadership in action.
And just like with your projects, you need to connect your leadership style to measurable results. Effective leadership isn't just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It leads to things like higher application uptime, significant cost savings, industry recognition, and perfect compliance records. These are the direct outcomes of a well-led team.
All right, we are at the final and, frankly, the most critical step. You've told your stories, you've explained your process. Now it's time to bring it all together and make your final pitch, explicitly connecting everything you said to what this company is looking for.
When you get that final question, you know the one, so why should we hire you? You need to have your answer ready to go. Your goal is to deliver a concise summary that's built around these core strengths: strategic planning, team building, process optimization, and stakeholder alignment.
And here's the final critical piece of advice. You have to tailor your answer. Don't just talk about yourself in the context of their company. If they pride themselves on innovation, connect your experience in automation and modernization directly to that value. Show them you not only have the skills, but that you actually share their mission.
Let's do a quick recap of the winning formula. 1. Structure all of your stories using the STAR method. 2. Back up every single claim you make with hard numbers. 3. Explain the strategic why behind your tools and processes. And 4. Frame yourself as the specific solution to their specific problems.
Ultimately, just remember this. An interview is not an exam. It's a simulation. It is your very first project with that company, and your main objective is to demonstrate how you'll lead, how you'll solve problems, and how you'll deliver value from day one. The only question left is, are you ready to lead it?